Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. We're back today for part 117, and if all things go to plan, it should be our final game in charge at Juventus before we look ahead to a big summer for us personally, career-wise, and possibly even the end of the head coach series. If you're looking forward to seeing how we get on against Verona, as well as reviewing our season here in Italy and looking at the job centre for what might crop up this summer, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. I hope you've enjoyed the season, and if you want to find out what's next for us, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on for daily FM21 content. We're still flying along in our Build a Nation series with Bangor City 2. That one's really taken off this summer after our transfer special last time out, so please do click up in the eye above and give that one a try if you haven't already. But today, it's all about Verona away, and hopefully we won't go out on a whimper, which our away form has threatened to do for some of this season. We're going to have a quick look at our star youth intake player as well, because I know I threatened it in the last episode, and due to technical problems, I couldn't actually show you that bit of the episode. So we'll go and take a look at the star that could serve Juventus for years to come, whether or not we're here or involved in the game at all. Of course, even if we do finish this series after today, I'm hoping we'll get a chance at another job. But if not, we'll still have our look 10 years on to see how all of our clubs have got on later on in the series, even without us in charge at any team. And of course, we'll look back at all our former clubs too. But I'm hoping it won't quite be the end. If we've got a chance, I'd love to go to the Bundesliga. It's something we've not done yet. It's the only real elite league we haven't touched. I'd also like to consider international management a natural path for a manager coming towards the end like myself. And also the other option is a retirement league. We've got the US, Australia and China loaded. Now they're all very good leagues in their own rights, but they're traditional paths for Europeans to go to as they reach the twilight, or the back end at least, of their career. So we're going to have a look at all of that a bit later on. But very firstly, let me show you the game we played off camera. It was of course a bit of a dull 1-0 win at home to Sassuolo. It was a Sana Balde late strike who got us the goal there. Rui Simoes picked up a knock. Wasn't a particularly bad one. He's still going to be out for this game though, so we're not going to see him in action again. But a really thoroughly good performance. And at home, we've been scintillating this year. If I go to the table and show you what it looks like, of course we've not got to worry about titles, pressure and any of that stuff today. It can be a bit more of a relaxed, laid-back vibe. So let me show you the home form over the course of this season. 16 wins, 3 draws, 0 defeats. 6 goals conceded in 19 home games. That is miles clear of the rest of the division. Away from home, only just top of the league. 13 wins, 2 draws, 3 defeats. Milan only 2 points behind us. But on the final day, if we don't win and they do, we wouldn't even be top of the away table. But on the final day, if Milan get a result away from home and we don't, we could well find ourselves behind them. Inter not far off that and a few other sides too. We really have struggled to get going on the road, and more so than the league have been the big cup collapses. The 5-1 at Milan in the Italian Cup semi-final, the 6-0 at Barcelona, the 5-1 at Manchester United in the Champions League. That's where our season has gone from great to okay. Having said that, the job centre is still going to be active this summer. We're still a very good manager. We've still got a great reputation. We're on 150 grand a week. Yes, that might be a stumbling block, but I can resign if I need to. We've also got a 58% win percentage record across our career, which is incredibly good. We've got the admiration of some of the best coaches in the world, looking at Zinedine Zidane as a prime example there. Someone who's been at the top level for many, many years. Our attributes generally very good. Not working with youngsters, which is a bit odd given some of the clubs we've been at. And even if we go to our history, looking at something a few of you guys have asked for, 8 cups, 3 leagues and a promotion. We've got trophies in the bank. We're in the Hall of Fame for our nationality. And I'd love to get to number 1. But that might require a big job coming up in the summer. We'll see if that happens later on. The last thing I want to do before we get into our game against Verona and our season review is just show you the one brilliant youngster from our youth intake. There were 2 other pretty good ones as well. But the star of the show is Mattia Gherardi. He is a 16-year-old Italian centre forward. He's brilliant. I mean, he's got great attributes across the board. He's naturally talented. He's got a fantastic personality. 5-star potential, 1.5 ability. He will become a proper wonder kid in time. Napoli already trying to nick him. But look at those mental stats for a teenager. He's something special. He's got great technique. Maybe physically he's not quite there yet. But if we're looking at a poacher for the future, maybe even dropping into a number 10 role, he could be something very, very special. A couple of others in there. The goalkeeper, Davide Lerda, looks pretty good as well. 15 years of age. Again, big potential. It's actually gone up since we had our youth intake. And Ben Melanson, 15-year-old right winger, an Irishman who came through the Juventus youth intake. 1-star ability, 4.5 potential. And again, pretty versatile, 2-footed. It looks very good in terms of his strengths already at this age. So there are a lot of positives across the club. We're leaving this team in a very good position. And they're an elite club. We've achieved the bare minimum, if we're being honest. We've won the league, we've won a couple of other cups. We've not won the big Italian Cup, we've not retained the Champions League or even threatened it. And that has to go down as a disappointment. So let's get through this Verona game. Let's pick our team for the final time at this club. And let's see what happens in our final game in charge in the Italian League. We've won the league, we've done our job here. And now we need to go and seek pastures new. So we know Fabrian is going to play at right back due to injury to our normal fullback Sim Moise. Ceballos played the last game because the Lig was out, but he's going to come back in today. Ceballos will then go onto the bench in place of one of the injured boys. Esposito out for Zaninetti. And I don't think the rest of the team changes. We've been playing Ristovajevic ahead of Tonali to get him fitness and football. He's only 22. He's a brilliant young player. He's now 4-star ability, 5-star potential. I want him to reach the top. So we're doing our little bit to help them out. Our 11 for today is as follows. Ambroise, brilliant signing in January. He is the goalkeeper who stars in this one. Just a shame he played in that Manchester United game, really, because he's been faultless aside from that. The fullbacks are Fabrian and Cesar, with Marcelo and De Ligt at centre-back. Shep Roma and Ristovajevic in the middle. Popov and back on the wings. And then Sanabalde, the match winner against the Swallow, behind Bongiorni up front. There's still a big race on for 4th place in Serie A. Napoli on 71, Inter on 70, Lazio 69, Atalanta 69, and even Fiorentina on 67 will be watching with interest, though I think based on some of the other games they might well drop out. Lazio and Inter on paper have easier games, whereas Atalanta at home to Cittadella should be the biggest banker of the day. Fiorentina perhaps got a more difficult one away at Torino. They've just survived this season, but they're playing with freedom now, and that might make them more of a threat. Napoli, a very good club. They've got Sampdoria at home. Milan finish away at Roma, but of course there's nothing riding on this game for us or them. So let's just go and enjoy the party as champions and hope we can fix our away form for the last day in Italy. Let's go and see if we can do it. It's Verona who we're going to visit. Okay, Verona in the bottom half of the league, and there are not many players I recognise in that team. In fact, I don't think there's any. I'm trying to think if any of them would have been real or we've come up against them in our career. Certainly not in the 11. Andrew Kavanagh looks a British name. Jose Gaia, there you go on the bench. I recognise that one. But that's just about it. So I'm not quite sure what to expect from this team. I know away from home we've not been great, particularly recently. We have been scarred a bit by those heavy defeats in cups. But if we're at our best, we should be able to get a good result here. Verona in 14th. They're not really going anywhere here. So let's see what happens, as we've got a free kick early on with Matthias de Ligt in his own half. Almost a bit of a kit clash here. Dark blue v black. It's a little bit weird. Long ball forward finds Mark back. Skins 2 defenders. Rattles the post with a first shot. And luck would have it for him. It drops back down to his feet to put in the rebound. The keeper was already on his backside diving for the first one. And Mark back crashes it into the empty net. It's 1-0 to Juventus. It's the perfect start, as Albanas plays out to Brunelli. They're still not deterred, Verona. They're playing good football in the middle here with Nunes to Albanas. And of course, if we end up in an international post or in a retirement league or in a league that's less reputable, let's say, we could well re-encounter some of these people, as the ball's in for them straight away. Excellent goalkeeping. Ambroise comes out and smothers it at a striker's feet, because we'd left them. I mean, I don't know what's happened with the centre-halves. Marcelo's been a disappointment this year. The fullbacks, particularly on the left with Cesar, pretty much the same thing. We've just not quite had that same quality. And let's be honest, we'd still be at Madrid if we hadn't bottled it last year. As Mark back gets the ball down the left wing to the byline. Been a difference maker here, in towards Popov. Good block and cleared by Salvatore. But a brilliant start for Juventus. We're putting on a show on the final day. The touchline tablet moves across yet again. But Juventus, unlucky to only be 1 up. As Quadrato, the left back, throws in for them. Straight towards Fabrian, the deputising fullback. Balde gets it wide to Popov. Takes on his man, beats him with ease again. Trying to win the penalty there, instead plays it across the front post. And Albanas is able to get there first. Gives it as far away as he can. The Lig brings it down for Fabrian. Shep Roma out to the overlapping fullback again. Fabrian chips in. Bongiorni's there. But the offside flag was up. It wasn't going to count anyway. The keeper didn't know that. Made a very good save. And we've got a throw on the left-hand side with Julio Cesar. Gives it to Balde, who flicks on for Mark back. Certainly looks up for this one. Maybe he wants to move with us to our next club, as he lays it in for Shep Roma. Not credited with the assist because of a couple of deflections on its way through. But Shep Roma finishes one of the most undersung heroes in this side. And it's 2-0 with half an hour on the clock. Verona managed their first shot on the match, but we've been utterly dominant so far. As Cesar's got an advanced throw on the left. Gives it to Ristovajevic, who goes all the way back to Marcello on halfway. Into the Serb again. Up towards Popov. Balde down for Bongiorni. Just wide of the post. Great effort, great opportunity. Just can't find the goals at the minute. The half's just petered out. It's 2-0 at the break. It's been an utterly dominant performance. Verona not really offered much, and they have shown why they're a bottom half side here. But Juventus, we've just got to keep it up. And if we can add a few more to put some gloss on it, then that would be fabulous for our final day in charge. As it's a goal kick for our host. Long ball down the right-hand side. Julio Cesar will get there first. Lays it up to back just inside the opponent's half. To Ristovajevic. Cesar going on the overlap. Plays a 1-2 with back. Back now getting towards the byline. Flying tackle which he beats. Into the box again. Brilliant save by the keeper from an impossible angle. I've no idea how back got it on target to start with. It comes out and virtually hits Bongiorni on the chest. But it bobbles in over the line. It's 3-0. And the Italian wonder kid, maybe not been exactly what we needed this year, but he is going to be a star for them moving forward. With just over 20 to go, I want to bring a couple of youngsters on yet again. Ristovajevic is going to go up in the number 10 role for Balde, and then Balde will be replaced by Pietro Bruni. He's a little bit more of a defensive option for us, but crucially, he's from the youth academy. I'm looking into attacking areas. Back's got to stay on. He's been brilliant all season. So Marcelo will be replaced by Ceballos. And is there anyone else on the bench? Ivancic, do you know what? I know Ivancic is a good player. Bongiorni's not had the best game despite his goal. Let's give him a chance up front because he's a quality footballer and he's barely kicked a ball this year. So let's give him 20 minutes to impress again. Well, into the final 5 minutes. The yellow cards are racking up for Verona. 7 in total now. And we've got a corner as we get into stoppage time. Popov delivers to the front post. Headed away, but Shep Roma will get back there first. Finds Febrian, who plays a 1-2 with him. Out to Matthias de Ligt. Not got all the way back from that corner yet. And it's out to the right to Bruni, who drifted wide, the youngster. Has come to the fore towards the end of the season. And we talked about those yellow cards just a second ago. As magic would have it, Gaia now gives away a free kick. Gives away a second yellow card. And it all proves why we were discussing it. So now they've got 9 yellow cards, a red card as well. It's not been a good day at the office for Verona. It didn't matter much to them. They stay in 14th place. But for us, we win the title in style. And we celebrate our final game in Italy with a perfect performance. We'll be back in a minute for the season review. And of course, a look at the job centre for the future of this save. That is now the most important thing for us. End of season review time. 3 trophies in the cabinet. The Italian Super Cup. The European Super Cup. That one I'm quite proud of. And that was our first game as well. And then the Italian Serie A title, which makes up for the haunting last year with Real Madrid in Spain. And Bryce was the big signing this winter even, I should say. Febrian and Cesar came in the summer. Ristovajevic joined just before we did. And he's been a brilliant signing on a free agent deal. In terms of the season results, not really been many major surprises. We've won it pretty comfortably. Milan definitely in second place. And actually, probably the biggest thing was the final day of the season. Atalanta crept into the top 4 again. Napoli got their win to stay up there. Inter dropped from 4th to 7th with defeat. And their manager, Gennaro Gattuso, then got sacked. So a Milan legend managing Inter, sacked for dropping 3 places on the final day. Fiorentina and Lazio overtake them. Sassuolo miss out, a little bit of a dip towards the end for them. But you can't blame them. Late in the season, they've not got the same strength in depth. The devastation at Barcelona will never be forgotten this season. The warning sign was United away in the Champions League. And we did sort of stumble through that group stages. We got through with 8 points, don't forget. And we would have got through with 6 at the end of the day. Barcelona at home, we were brilliant. Away from home, I mean, Sandro Tonali cost us. We've got to be honest with that. In the European Super Cup, it was a comfortable win against Atalanta. Another devastating performance against AC Milan, that time in the Italian Cup semi-final second leg. How do you blow a 3-goal lead? I just don't know. The Italian Super Cup we won as well. 3 trophies in the end. Big win against Monza. A match to remember at Torino. And then away at Monza, we got goal of the season as well. This time it was Popov scoring a good place shot. The finances are in a bit of a mess, to be honest. The broadcast revenue and virtually everything else is down, particularly the prize money from losing those 3 rounds in the Champions League. But the sponsorship is just up and we still got enough in, so hopefully the club will be alright. In terms of the key players, I'm surprised Ambroise didn't beat Onana in second half of the year. Maybe he just didn't play enough games. Cesar at left back a weak link, Marcelo, I mean you can tell by the average ratings. It was Marcelo, it was Cesar, and it was the left wing where we struggled. Mark back, if he'd been fit more of the season, would definitely have been in there. But otherwise, 2 of the back 4 wasn't good enough. And the striker, probably not the best either. That's what's ended up costing us here. If we carry on to the accolades, there weren't any new record breakers at the club. But the fans player of the season, and pretty much every player of the season award, went to Valentin Popov. Goals went to Bongiorni, assist to Sana Balde. Remarkably, the 27-year-old Portuguese dropped from the squad for the Euros for them. Not quite sure how he's going to deal with that. And it's history in the making as we get 3 trophies under our belts. 3 new ones for us as a manager, and as a club we've managed to get some good ones in as well. Let's have a look at the end of season team meeting and the club expectations. I mean, we'll carry on and accept that, but we know we're not going to be here in truth. We'll discuss the plans with the players. We want to win the title again. We want to make sure we retain it. We want to get to the latter stages of the Champions League, and we want to keep trying to push back. But this football club is not going to be doing that with us at the helm, because the main thing we've got to look at for this season and moving forward, so we are on the Manager of the Year shortlist. That would be a nice thing for us to pick up. And Popov won Player of the Year. He was brilliant when he played. So let's go and tell him he deserved that and head over to the job centre, because that's going to be the important bit for us this summer. So as I've mentioned before, there's 3 main schools of thought here, which is Bundesliga, / a return to Spain for one of the couple of elite clubs. Not sure Real Madrid would have us back, so we'd probably have to do it with Barca, who did drop to second this year. We could look at Atletico Madrid also in that regard. The second option is the internationals after the Euros. I'm sure a few big jobs will come up. Maybe even the England job could be a way for us to finish. And the third option is let's take a mini retirement. Let's head over to the US, to Australia, to the sort of twilight zones of your career. And they're the places that managers most commonly go. So let's have a look at that as well. I mean, the only job that's coming up in the Bundesliga is Borussia Mönchengladbach, who we of course ended up at last year in FM20's head coach. Now, they did get in the top 4 last year, but have missed out on Europe entirely this season. So I don't think that's suitable for us at all. Their key player, Warren Sissoko, I mean, he's world class, to be fair. He's better than any of our strikers at Juventus. But I'm not sure they're the club for us. I'm looking at Rangers. And maybe that's a 4th option I haven't considered. Rangers haven't won the title now in Scotland for 5-6 seasons. And they've actually dropped to 3rd a few of them. Now, all of our success was built in Scotland this year. Both with Brechin, Arbroath, Dundee and then Hibs. Now, Hibs have actually become better than Rangers consistently here. Partly because of how we helped build them. So is that a new 4th option that we consider going back to Rangers and finishing off in Scotland where it all began? Because that's something we've not had the luxury of before. Let me know what you think of that. And of course, give me your thoughts in the comments. What option would you like to see me take? I know a few of you have mentioned the MLS. And regardless of what job we take next, if it's a bigger one or it's an international one, we can still go to the MLS after. But now looking at it with the Rangers one popping up, I just think, would that maybe be quite a nice touch? Would that be something where we can make a real difference and really build a club up again? I'm just having a look at the insecure jobs. I mean, Schalke's up there. They finished 7th this season in the Bundesliga. But there's not really a great deal else, other than Tottenham, our former club, that's of the elite level. Of course, there are going to be options after the Euros. The Argentina job is already insecure from South America, and I'm sure that will happen across Europe too. But Rangers is really tempting me now, because given the way the series has gone, it would almost be the perfect way to finish. But let me know what you think in the comments. It's certainly going to be a big summer. I'll be back in a couple of days with the answer, of course. I'll be hoping that you guys have given me some help in the comments. If you did enjoy this episode and a finish to the season with Juventus, please do put a thumbs up on the video. A good season all in all, but we didn't win the Italian Cup, and that would have been another addition for us that we wanted. If you want to stay up to date though and find out what we do this summer, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. It looks like, given the jobs available, we won't have to retire just yet. But for me, looking at what's available now, it's Rangers or international. Or potentially we take a step towards retirement and go and live in sunnier climate. That's one of the other things we could do. Let me know in the comments what you would prefer again. Of course, we'll take the best step and whichever ones are presented to us. You can catch up in the meantime with all the other playlists in the eye above, including the start of this series all the way back in Scotland with Brechin, where it all began. We've also got our Scotland in the Euro series if you want more Scottish football action. In addition, there's a link to the Twitch channel and the food channel. We've got regular live streams and content from those. But a big thanks for watching and following for another season. And I'll see you next time for our big decision.